Angel anime. Yeah. How's it going? Sorry, I'm listening to tunes and stuff like that on here. Like I normally do on these lives now, because like I said, it's much easier for me to do these lives when I'm actually listening to like something else because I'm ADD, and if there's not like a lot of conversation and stuff like that going on, then it gets difficult for me to do these lives. But now all I'm trying to see is like how many people are going to join and whatnot. Because so far none. But bear in mind we're only 45 seconds in. Okay, now I got one. There we go. Yeah. But like something I want to talk about before I get into the title of the video. Wait, what was I going to talk about? Oh, something actually. Like, if you don't know, like, I actually have TikTok, and I do actually go live on there with more frequency than YouTube, but those lives, to be honest, are nowhere near as fun, and I don't know why I do them so often. Because like here on YouTube, I have a much better community and stuff like that. So yeah, you guys are incredible, honestly. And I can do a live. Like it's like 1:20 almost in the morning here in Alberta, which on the East Coast that's gonna be like 3:30 basic or like 3:20 basically, right? And or even later. And Ryan saying that. See, now here's the thing: the Flames lost tonight, but here's the thing about that. Like, that was a scheduled loss, if you want to get technical about it. Because the Flames playing back to back. 2, they're playing against a cup contender. 3, the Flames don't spend to the cap at all. In fact, nowhere near. They're only like a couple mil above the salary floor, fun fact. Like the cap floor in the league, I think it's like 59 million. The Flames are at like 62 or something like that $1 billion of cap space. You know, and they still have, you know, 24 or so $1 million worth of cap space. So yeah, there is that. It's kind of interesting. If the Flames actually would have done maybe the Nashville route during the summertime, they could actually be a good team. But we just don't know. Like, and this team, I know they expected to be better because, you know, we would have expected Kuzmenko to be better at this point. We would have expected Sharangovich to be better. But they're just not at the moment. Like, Sharangovich got injured in the preseason, and actually so did like, and I believe Kuzmenko was injured for a little bit too, and he hasn't been as good. So there's that. But we shall see. And hey, no worries, Kevin. I appreciate you coming out for the quick little excerpt to say hi, bye. You are awesome and appreciate you. But yeah, I mean, it would be awesome to see both the teams be good. I'd love to see the Flames versus the Oilers in the playoffs because, like, oddly enough, the Flames are better than the Oilers typically in the playoffs. Yes, we can go back a couple of years ago to when the Oilers handed the Flames their ass in the playoffs, but I blame Daryl Sutter on that because he put fucking Markstrom in against the Oilers, like dumbass, right? Because he's not good. Like, Markstrom sucks against the Oilers. He's terrible. The Oilers have his number. They just do. Every goalie in the league has that one team that lights them up. Every single goalie does. You know? And it's quite the interesting conundrum that way. And I'm just getting rid of this guy because he's just a moron. So he can go bye-bye. Hey, Soul Grey, how's it going? But something though. So I might as well get into this. Since there's now people jumping into the live. And no worries, Ryan. Appreciate you coming out for a little bit. Take care, man, and I'll catch you later. And we have Hayden saying hi. Hi back. How's it going? Soul Gray saying good. Excellent. I'm glad to hear that. Bijou is saying hi. What up? And Clara, I believe. It's hard to read the script. Saying hi. Kyle saying hi. Oh god, not even gonna touch that comment. It is Clara. Okay, cool. I can't pronounce your full name right. Hang on, I'm just trying to think if it's a troll name. Give me a second. I don't think it is, but it doesn't really matter. Let's see. What are you talking about, like? How are mods not stopping? I don't have any mods on right now, to be honest. I am just freeballing this myself, which I usually do, to be fair. How many subscribers? I actually just hit 5,800 subscribers, so that's freaking awesome, honestly. Oh, hey, no worries, Ford guy. I appreciate you nonetheless. And yeah, Ryan, you're not a mod. I mean, I should probably make you a mod because actually, I know you'd be good with being a moderator. But yeah, but regardless, you're going to bed, so not a big deal, anyways. I got this all covered. You know, I very rarely have ever had mods in my chat. Very, very, very rarely. So, but yeah. Anyways, so if you don't know, like I'm an automotive content creator, and I have a couple of Fox Body Mustangs, although I'm potentially getting rid of the one. And for something that I've always wanted, like there is a vehicle that has eluded me for a long time, and I've just never had the money for one, never had the means to really acquire one, or whatever at the time. And that is a Ford Maverick. Now, the thing is, the Ford Maverick was a sort of compact car that Ford started to make in 1970, released it at the same time as the Pinto, actually, like same year. And it existed until 77, I believe. Yeah, 77, because then the Fairmont replaced it in 78. That's what it was. And I have an opportunity to get one. It's also an inline six car, which is perfect. And, like, it's weird because, like, stars are kind of potentially aligning with this of, like, yeah, of getting this Maverick. Now, I don't know what year it is. I don't know if it's a two-door or four-door. I don't know anything like that. But all I know is that it's a 250 inline six Maverick so far. They were potentially interested in a trade for my 82 Mustang. And little backstory on the Ford Maverick from me. So when I was like 12 or 13 years old, I don't really remember like exactly how old I was, but like I said, I was 12 or 13. I was living in Coaldale, and I used to always like be on the computer, and I was looking up, vehicles for sale on Kijiji. And Kijiji is like Canada's version of Craigslist, which Craigslist is kind of garbage, and actually Kijiji's actually not bad. There's a lot of like scammy stuff though, and yeah. But anyways, so there was somebody back then out in Alex, Alberta, that was giving away a Ford Maverick. I'm like, that'd be really cool. But at the time, there were some things I didn't realize. Because it was a two-door Maverick, I believe small bumper Maverick, actually. It didn't have an engine in it. However, What I didn't realize is that, one, my uncle lives in Alex. He still lives there. Two, that he was home at the time. And three, he had a 351. We could have swapped in it. I think he still has that motor, actually. Or at least he might have I think he still has a 460 lying around. I don't know if he has a 351 still. But I could have had for my first car at like 12 or 13 years old. Yes, I wouldn't have been able to drive it. But a two-door, 351 powered Ford Maverick. Like, hell yeah. That would have been freaking incredible. However, I didn't know all that, and by the time my dad got home, so I could tell him about this cool thing I found, it was already gone, which I figured it would have already been gone. Somebody giving away a two-door Maverick, that's gonna go pretty quick. And it did. But then I found out all this stuff, I'm like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. Like, it was one of those things that's just like, it's a car that got away. And it's a car that I have been chasing ever since. Like, and anytime I find one, they're usually just too rough. They're usually too far away. They're usually too much money, whatever it is. So, this, now, flash forward to this 250 inline six Maverick. And again, I don't know what year it is. I don't know if it's a two-door or four-door. I messaged the guy and asked him what's the details on it, because he didn't even put a picture in the comments. And supposedly he might be actually local, because he posted that in the local buy and sell group. So that's pretty awesome. So we'll see. Plus also, like, something interesting though is that not only that this thing is, you know, a Maverick with a 250. Did you know that my long tube header that I bought last year is for a 250 Maverick? Like, how much more perfect could this really get? You know, like, it just seems so far-fetched with this, right? Like, you know, and I don't know, like I said, this might not pan out, but if it does, hell yes! I would do that trade for a two-door 250 Maverick in a heartbeat. I don't care if it's an automatic or a manual. It'd be really cool if it's a manual. Because it'd be either a 3-speed manual or a top loader, actually. Being a 1970, because they didn't have the S-Rod yet. Yeah, so wouldn't have overdrive. But, hey, that'd be freaking cool as hell. So I don't know, we shall see. And, right, like, that's one thing. It's one of my, like, favorite cars. Because, you know, Ford Guy 351 in the chat's just mentioning that it would have been cool to own that Maverick. And he likes Thunderhead 289's Maverick. Which, yeah, actually, so he did that weird thing with his Maverick where he put a lawnmower carb on it. As, like, it started out as an April Fool's joke where he did some, like, CAD design to use a lawnmower carb on a 302. But everybody that like when he posted that around, people didn't realize that it was April Fool's, and they were roasting him for it. Go, this is never gonna work. Why the hell would you do this? This is a waste of time. So he's like, screw it. Let's see if this actually works. And he got it to work with using a variable vacuum leak, because there's no way to actually tune that carburetor properly to richen it enough, like richen it or lean it out enough for him to make it work. So it's absolutely incredible. And yeah, he did get 40 miles a gallon. But not only with that, like with a 302, and he actually put it on a dyno. Now, a 302 Maverick, this was, you know, like, it's not an early Maverick, it's like big bumper Maverick. So, you know, that 302 would have only had like 140, 150 horsepower or so. It made, what was it, 58 horsepower, I think. Like, it's pretty cool, actually. Like, he said that, like, the thing didn't really go anywhere. It was just an absolute dud. It couldn't really do freeway speeds very easily. It did get up there, but it's wild. And yes, I do know about that. He does make the carb cheater product. I've looked into it actually, and it's not that expensive. And it's, it connects to an app on your phone, and you can control certain parameters of it, and you can see what it's doing. Okay, hey, Ford guy, you don't need to keep saying that in the chat, man. Like, are you having like internet issues? Because that's what it seems like. Because you did that same comment 3 in a row with the same spelling mistake. I think that's what's going on there, actually. But yeah, so that was a very interesting video to watch, and it's like his biggest video on his channel. Like Luke Finley is a genius when it comes to this stuff. Now, and his carb cheater system works in a very similar way as well with that. But hey, no worries. I figured as much. I just wanted to make sure that you weren't just like spamming my chat, because normally you're not like that. So I am doing okay. Apna Friday. How you doing? And if you're wondering, I'm listening to music through my headphones here, so that's why you can see me like dancing and vibing out. But yeah, so like, and videos like that of like just weird ass stuff is cool to me. You do something that nobody expects, hell yeah. But like something that I posted earlier today, I wrote up like a big long paragraph and everything, kind of explaining. Because actually, let me open that up on TikTok. Yeah, okay, forget. I know. You don't spam. I know. Don't worry about it, dude. Like I said, I know who you are and everything. That's why I asked, because that's not normally your thing. But anyways, so I posted a TikTok today saying that I've contemplated getting rid of this car for a while, and it shows, the 81 or the 82 Mustang back on the back of it, the trailer when we picked it up. And I said, although I don't know why, it's actually quite a nice car overall, with the best steering wheel with these ever came with. And that's true. Like, that's the best steering wheel that those cars ever came with, period. And I said a 200 cubic inch engine with a unicorn bell housing pattern that just about matches the small block Ford. Super clean underneath, too. And I showed some pictures underneath the car. Like, floors have zero rust. And it's true. Like, these floors are mint underneath this car. And actually, like, you can see some issues with the exhaust here, but that was all redone. So, and then, like I said, she's an 82 Mustang, and besides the hail damage and seat, she's a very nice car. And I said, I put a set of wheels and tires, swap the transmission, and swap front calipers and brake hoses. I'm a little torn on what to do. What do you think I should do? And then I put as a big excerpt, as in the description, I put, this car is seriously the nicest car I've ever owned, and I'm truly confused as to why I'm feeling this. This car is honestly, I should honestly keep, but I just don't know what to do with it. I have actually contemplated doing a V8 swap on this car. I know, weird, right? Considering I'm all about these inline sixes. I wouldn't just yeet the engine out the door, though. That would be swapped into my 81 Mustang to run a small block Ford stuff, aka clutch, flywheel, etc. And with that, I could sell my buddy those specific parts that is required to do the T5 swap on the high mount started 200. I don't know, we shall see. Alternatively, I could do something totally bizarre. I used to own a diesel Lincoln Mark 7 that I could acquire back to do a diesel swap. It used a BMW M21 inline 6 diesel. Could pillage the car for some seats and maybe the rear diff for four-wheel discs. I don't know if I do that, though. What's your thoughts? Right? So I posted that. It actually has 1,500 views on TikTok. Nobody's really giving me much. Like, I don't know what I really want to do with that car, but this Maverick thing might be what puts me over the edge of wanting to to do something with the car's legacy that way. And like I said, when I said that, that was from the heart. That sort of excerpt that I mentioned. So it's something that I've struggled with for a little bit of trying to figure out what I'm gonna do with it. And I value the car around $4,000. So if people are interested, for buying it outright, I would be interested. I'm actually gonna do probably a full video on that tomorrow. I'll clean up the car, and I'll go do a video on the car. And kind of talk about my feelings with it, whatever else, in more detail than that excerpt. So, but that was interesting though. So if this Maverick thing happens, well, Stitch wouldn't get the long tube header. Stitch would get the short tube header that I have for the 82 Mustang. Then, once that, happens, I could put that long tube header on the Maverick. Get a nice dual exhaust going out the back with some good, Flow Pro chambered mufflers. Make it sound similar to Stitch, but it's going to sound different because it's a long tube, equal length header. So, we shall see. Oh, that I believe is sold now, actually. That was a Ford Fairmont with a 302. I actually messaged the guy, and I asked him, hey, are you interested in trades? And I showed my car, and he's just unfortunately, I'm not interested in having another vehicle at the moment. And I said, no worries. Good luck with the sale, right? And then I sent it to a couple friends of mine, and it was pending sale almost right after. So, yeah. Let's see. You picked up a Ford Ranger, and you have a few engines sitting around. A 4-cylinder Perkins diesel, a Mazda B-Series rotary from their old pickups from the 70s, and a 455. Oh! That is interesting. Oh. Well, and which Ford Ranger do you have? Do you have... Not that this really matters, but I'm just curious. Is it a modern Ranger? Is it, an 80s Ranger? Is it a 90s Ranger? What year is it? And hi, Ayaz. How's it going? And when I went to Calgary, I stopped in Araucana to go to meet Logger. Oh, fair enough. 95 Ranger. Okay. With the 5-speed, blowing up 4-liter. Ooh. I mean, the most unique thing would be that rotary. But, and if you want to, as an example, make that into, for content, that rotary would do numbers for content. Don't get me wrong. And it'd be the most unique if you show up to a car show and you pop the hood and there's a rotary under the hood, right? Because the 454 would be, or 455 would be really cool as well. Again, vehicle or engine that people typically don't touch, but would be cool as well. And the Perkins diesel, I think we actually could come with Perkins diesels, oddly enough, in the 80s, if I'm not mistaken. So that's harkening back to what they could have, depending on the Perkins diesel. But, that's an interesting one. I would probably go with a rotary, because it's just very unique and cool, and you get the noises and stuff like that. Or the Ranger type Perkins and Mitsubishi diesels. That's what I thought, yeah, okay. And hi, Kelly. No, it's not snowing here at all. It is perfectly clear outside, and it hasn't snowed for quite a while. And no, random commenter, we are not going to get married. Sorry. Oh yeah, I've owned some unicorns that way, but nothing that Like that Lincoln Mark 7 that I owned with the BMW straight six diesel from the factory. That was a unicorn. I also owned the Poltermerc was very rare with the rear wiper and the two-tone jump. And then there was Buzz, right? That was an inline six 4-speed manual car. Like, freaking awesome. There's an 80s Ranger that's a diesel at East Cooley you want to get? I mean, that'd be cool. You know, like, I'm all for getting, like, those unique and weird stuff. Even though, like, yes, it can be difficult to find parts for some of this stuff. Don't get me wrong at times, but it is pretty cool, though. Oh, it's snowing in South Calgary? Rip. That sucks, because, I mean, yeah, here, it's, you know... Actually, I shouldn't do that. Oh, actually, it did snow a little bit. Okay, I gotta be very careful with this top, not to flash everybody. Yeah, so just a little dusting is all we got. Well, I say a little dusting, actually. I covered the car. Like, hang on. Hey, do it. Like, that's the thing. And even if you, like, documented the process, they could do numbers on YouTube. It really could. Man, like, you can see, so... The T-Bird has a little dusting of snow on it. And that had no snow on it 3 hours ago. So, that's as much snow as we got here. One too many times you will cry like a bitch. Good song. But yeah, I mean, that'd be awesome to see. Like, I'd follow that series 100%. Over the nails, I can promise you that. Step out of line and you'll get bitch slapped back and you can run all your mouth all day. Sorry, it's Godsmack. I love it. But yeah, no, like I said, I'm a big fan of like weird swaps like that. Like even I don't know if you guys remember that. There was my buddy actually acquired it. I made some content with it. He got rid of it. There was a OBS Chevy with a Nissan diesel under the hood. It's a weird motor, and also didn't really fit properly, so they actually put it in at a massive angle. It did run and drive, like it did. Not very well. Actually, it ran all right, but getting it started was a pain. It needed the giggle juice. But and what was really funny is like the key inside, all it did was like turned on your electronics inside and unlock the steering. That's all it did. To actually start the vehicle, there was a wire that you had to attach to one of the batteries. And there was 3 batteries that were in a series. And you just found whichever battery had the most voltage at the time, and you touched it to that, and it would fire to life. Like, it was hilarious, honestly. And I kind of wish I would have done more with that. Like, maybe throw a turbocharger or something like that on it, and, like, take it to car shows and stuff, and, like, see people's genuine reaction to the vehicle. It would have been fantastic. Tell me I can't take my chances. I don't too want too many times. You'll cry like a bitch. You wonder why no one can save you. There's no denying you will cry like a bitch. Oh, there's a few inches and still falling. Oh, that's gonna be very fun for Calgary tomorrow. Absolutely. But, you know, that's how it goes. Is this Slipknot? Yeah, Slipknot. What's my opinion on K-Trucks? Oh, I love K-Trucks. Yes! I want one. Like, K-Trucks are so fun and cool and everything. Yes, are they really that practical for, like, taking on highways and stuff like that? Which is majority of the driving I do? No, they're terrible for that. But They're just so cute and they're fun and like, and they're just hilarious. Because yes, they're very like top heavy and they can tip over very easy, but they're awesome. Like it'd be fun to play with one of those. I don't know what I'd do with one if I owned one, but I'd figure out something. Like I could customize it a little bit, maybe throw a little turbocharger on it just to make it so that, not to like make it fast, just to make it so that it'll accelerate a little better and to have it maintain like highway speeds a little better. But then it would also need to get like very thick sway bars. Very thick sway bars and probably lower it a little bit too. So that it's less prone to out. But yeah, like, because K-Trucks, I know, like, or key trucks, as they're called technically, they are 660cc only, and they have to fall under certain parameters for weight and overall size for Japan, and it's strictly for, insurance purposes, because they are designed not like your typical vehicle. They're cheaper to make, and they can't go as fast. So therefore, the insurance rate was a lot cheaper on them. Hey, Adrian, how's it going there, Mr. Espinosa? Oh, there's a distributor in Calgary? Yeah, actually, out in Devon, there is one too. I know that for sure. And there's a couple of them kind of across the province. It'd be fun. Like, it'd be very fun. I am doing fantabulous. Thanks for asking. I just realized that you guys can actually see my cheese whiz. I'm just going to move that. And yes, there is a kitty cat in behind my head. That's just one of his new hangouts. Like, he likes it. Hey, Rascal. 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 Hi, buddy. Yeah, he's not going to look at me. Rascal. Hi, buddy. What you doing? Come here. Come here. There you go. Come here. You are a putty tat. Hey, you are a putty tat. Come here, buddy. Come here. There you go. I'll just pet you until you actually stay. I don't know what's going on with my throat tonight. Fuck. I didn't finish that. And yeah, like Rascal, he's in his own kind of world and stuff like that. I love him for it, but he was cuddling my bunch earlier. But yeah, my cat came in the room. She thought I was calling her name. Nice. Who is ready for New Year's? I are not. I don't have any plans or anything like that. But that's all good. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Might just do a stream here on the YouTubes. I mean, it's interesting. I have thought about doing this. I don't know how well this would work because I think I might be very overwhelmed. But I have thought about trying to set up a stream when I am not only live on YouTube, but then go on this phone and be live on TikTok, or vice versa. I think actually this phone will work better on YouTube. This phone works better on TikTok. So do it like that and see what happens. I'd have to make sure that I have moderators in the chat and stuff like that. Which it'd be difficult to set that up, being that it's not that far out. So, but also, hi! How's it going, Mr. Anime? I mean, a car for an edit. 1972 Ford Maverick. There you go. Have fun with that one. You know, one of the coolest cars to come out of the 70s, to be honest. And the 70s for a lot of people was actually like a low point in styling, but there were a few cool styles that came out in the 70s. You know, like the second generation Javelin slash AMX is a beautiful body style. You know, the Maverick looks pretty cool. Even like the Vegas and Monzas were pretty neat, but you know. Hey, let's go. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. Like, I will start it like maybe an hour prior. I think that's what I'll do. So I'll have to make sure that I have it set up like in the Discord to let people know that yeah, get drunk will be someone. Yeah, I mean, I'd have to stock up on some alcohol if I was gonna do it that way. Which, to be fair, wouldn't be that hard. Just get some Smirnoff and then, you know, have a party. But I know, like, a friend of mine did ask if anybody was doing anything for New Year's. And I asked her, like, well, what's up? I mean, I don't really have many plans, but she's up in Edmonton now. Or no, she's in Edmonton or in Calgary. I can't ever keep up because she works in the film industry. So she bounces around a ton. But we shall see. I don't know. Like, if I find another place to be, I'll be there. But otherwise, most likely that I will be in the live. I already told you. 1972 Ford Maverick. I already said that. See you, man. That's the car you can do for an edit. Have fun. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't have any plans for New Year's other than, like I said, that's a tentative plan of the, you know, that way, for the lives. And like I said, I may be ambitious and attempt to do 2 lives at once. I don't know if I will really invest into that, but we shall see. Might get some champagne or sparkling wine. Hey, there you go. And Kelly never touches alcohol. Hey, fair enough. I mean, I don't touch alcohol very often. In fact, I touched alcohol for the first time since like October tonight. So there's that. I just had like 1.5 drinks and that's it. Like I haven't even. Case in point, I didn't finish my last drink. But I'm very much a lightweight. I get drunk very easily. So there's that. Which, fun fact, for people that actually like watch these lives, and apparently some of you do. Like after the lives are over, which that's one thing that I like, is that people will do that. One of the reasons why, like, I'd like to have the comments, you know, available, but for some reason that's not been working lately, so been very confused by that. Oh, and 2 beers and Ford guy is buzzed that way. Fair enough. Like I said, I'm drunk off of 1 drink, like drunk. So it's pretty funny. And she got that Bingo Wings DLC. I have no idea what that means, but okay, sure. You know, I got the Batman tank top that also is a corset on the back. Pretty fun, actually. It's a cheap little top that I bought years ago. I have a matching Pikachu one, but to this top somewhere. But I figured I would wear this because I usually get pretty warm in the house at night while I'm streaming, and so, you know, too sick to not to fuck in the head. In this lifetime. You got some champagne in the fridge, some JD in the freezer, but you offer coffee instead? I mean, that's the healthier option. Although, I mean, if you drink, like, in very much little, like, moderation, it's not so bad. But a lot of people will just, like, way over drink, and that's their problem. Yeah. Oh, I know what you meant with JD. Trust me, I know what JD is. Gotta remember. Hi. I was a girl that was in the party scene for a couple of years. You know, at least I was kind of a party gal when I was 18, 19, 20 years old. But and then I also, as a cab driver, I worked very close with the bars and stuff like that. So yeah, when I was still a cab driver. Hi, Rascal. Hi, buddy. But yeah, so it should be fun. Like I said, I don't know if I'll attempt the multi-stream thing because then I'd have to figure out how to set up this phone. Um, you know. Oh, hey, absolutely. Being a lightweight is the most fun. The only time when being a lightweight sucks is when you are partying with your buddies and they want to go drink for drink with you. But they want you to keep up and you just can't. Those nights get fun. Oh, you had a kidney removed, so it's best you avoid the firewater? Fair enough. Fair enough. I get that. Absolutely. I mean, hey, you know what? My electrolytes. Okay, anime there, dude. Like, I already told you a vehicle that you could edit, and then you change that to like an alcohol to edit after I told you twice, and then now you're asking for a country. Like, I'm so confused, you know? Oh, well, that's dating how long ago that was, because that was 84? Yeah, I wasn't even a twinkle in any of my parents' eye at that point. I was still 12 years from being born. I'm going again and dropping plates. I use my music, my weapon. Oh, 88. Right, yeah. I don't know why I thought 84. Which one was 84? That I thought 84. That doesn't matter. But here's the thing. When you ask somebody for a suggestion for them to edit, then they tell you, and then you change your tune entirely? Like, it's kind of weird, man. Like, it sounds like that you're not really like listening to what anybody's telling you. So yeah, like you get out weird vibes there, man. And that's to this anime dude. In your defense, you were young. I mean, fair, fair. Um, like I started driving cab, when I was 27, and then and I only recently stopped doing it. But edit the edit. Hey, there you go. The double paradox. Let's go. Singing, being lost in the crowd. There's something that I'm gonna take me to fucking different you might be. And it's shaka when your heart on with it's a team. What exactly does the freedom mean? I was afraid to be as twisted as I wanna be. Playing and the playing losing in this game. I do have to impress upon you, but not the same. So you and me, another person, motherfucker. Now, what do you say? Divide, 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 divide. I'll stay on the last man standing now. Being lost in the crowd. I hear the sirens, but they're never gonna take me. I just vibing, hanging out here, like I always do. Yeah, and I think the reason why last night's live worked so well because I started a lot earlier, so that's why it was better. Because admittedly, I'm kind of doing this on a Sunday when like people work, you know, or technically, if I want to get technical, I started it on a Monday because it's after midnight, so that's all good. But yeah, so we shall see, like, if that Maverick deal actually works out for me or not. And then we'll like figure other stuff out for other things in the future, because that is one of those like kind of dream things. And then do a 2-barrel carb conversion on it, like I've done, and being a 250, like you've got that extra cubic inch of the engine. I'd have to see how well it would actually be when it comes to like potentially, I don't know, modifying a little bit, you know? Because that I would do actually a very similar build to Stitch, but Stitch is different because Fox body, right? So I don't feel as bad or like as kind of weird for like copying my own content. So, because that car, I mean, I could put in like a 9-inch rear because it's got a 9-inch, or like it'd have like a 7.5 or an 8-inch maybe in those things. Um, and like I said, I could upgrade it to a 9-inch. I could do a T5 swap on it. And the T5 swap would be a lot easier on that car. Because a T5 swap on that thing, if it happens to be a manual right now, it's stupid easy. Because I don't have to acquire anything, really. The only thing I'd have to acquire is a T5 transmission and a clutch. That's about it. Oh, no. Brent. So, if you look, people will ask, and normally it's like a spammy thing, but I entertain it because they're not doing anything wrong. They will actually ask somebody for ideas for like an edit. They'll, for example, they come into a car stream like this and they will ask, like name a vehicle for an edit. Then, if they don't like that, they might say, I'd like to do something else, or they'll say like a country for an edit, or like this guy did alcohol for an edit. It's like very weird how they changed their tune as quickly as they did, and they weren't really listening. So I said, screw it. Usually you tell them once and they just go away, but they didn't. Kitty, kitty, stay, May. Come, kitty, kitty, you're so silly, silly. Well, yeah, that's the one thing. Like, I'm a huge car enthusiast, and this is something that I have. Like, I've been into vehicles for a long time, and, like, to be honest, I've been able to identify most vehicles most vehicles on the road when I was about, like, 4 years old. So, that was pretty cool to be able to do that. Like, and my dad did take me to, like, car shows and stuff like that. My uncle took me to a couple as well, out in BC. Those were the most unique because I'm used to seeing the stuff in Lethbridge, and Lethbridge is a little hectic when it comes to the car shows that happen there. Like Street Machine Weekend is amazing, and it's such a party. People cruising up and down Mayor McGrath, people like, showing off their cars, little car meets sprouting up all over the place. It's awesome. And it's such a vibe, But, that's where I grew up. And seeing that every summer. And then there was one summer where actually my dad had something cool and we cruised around in it for a bit. Like, he had the 81 D150 and, we were cruising up and down Mayor McGrath and seeing all the classic cars and stuff. It was an awesome time. And which, interestingly, if you want to see a part of that truck, you can go on here and go to my very first video that I posted back in 2015, 2016? I think it was 2016. Yeah, is when I posted that. Or, no, it may have been earlier than that. I can't remember. Yeah, one of those years, anyways. And my very first video is of that vehicle with that truck with a slant six running, just running. It's a 30-second video. And you can see a little bit of the truck, not a ton of it, but it was pretty neat. Oh yeah, it's a lot more difficult to pay attention, and it's even harder to pay attention to the newer vehicles too now. Because, like, back then, the cars were more exciting, you know? They weren't all these, like, soulless boxes that all look like super aggressive and stuff like that. There was, like, cars that, like, they were happy, or they were angry, or they were, some of them would look a little generic. But for the most part, you could identify these different vehicles. And if you did mistake one vehicle for another, it's because of, like, GM as an example, where they were the kings of badge engineering. They did it for a long time. Like, as an example, so take a Pontiac Parisienne from the 80s. Well, the Pontiac Parisienne here in Canada was also the Chevy Caprice, which was also a Buick LeSabre, I believe. And then you had the Olds 88 that was also on that. And I think I'm missing one. Oh, and the Cadillac DeVille. All the same car for the most part. Like, yes, they were different in their own ways. They had different grills, different taillights. Some had more chrome than others, blah, 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 blah. But, yeah. Or bricks like what you drive? Exactly, right? Like, hey, you know what? I drive bricks too, if you want to get technical. Look at the vehicles that I have outside my house. Like, there's a 78 T-Bird in my driveway. That has the aerodynamics of a brick, and it's fantastic. And I got two Fox bodies. Again, not exactly very aerodynamic at all. The first gen Miata was cool to me. I think the first gen Miata was cool to everybody. You know, pop-up lights, just absolutely awesome, very fun. Harkening back to the 60s British sports cars is what it did, and it was just great. And what is a brick a minivan? I mean, like, anything that's like I just call anything that's like not swoopy or anything like that a brick. Because they all are. And yeah, like, you drive the brick nose F-150, which is not the prettiest F-150 they ever made, but they're very dependable though. Brett's cousin is trying to find a 66 Pontiac Parisienne 2-door hardtop with a 283 and the 2-speed power glide. He used to have one years ago. Ah, fair enough. I would, like, those cars are awesome, honestly. And judging by that, okay, so you said Parisienne, so obviously you're Canadian too. Because Parisienne only exists here. Or Parisienne, if you want to get technical of how to say it. Those things are really neat and such beautiful cars, and also unique because, like I said, they were Canadian only. Like, you bring a Parisienne down to the States, most people are gonna be like, "What the hell is this? It's got a Chevy motor, but it's a Pontiac badge." Huh? Exactly. Like, exactly. Why? Well, actually, like, Ford guy, the interesting thing is, so when the like, yeah, there's the bullnose, and when they changed that to, like, yeah, more of that, like, that, I guess they called it arrow nose. But then the one after that, I call the OBS, the 92 to 96. To me, that's an OBS. And I think most people call it an OBS too. Yep, Chevy powertrain, Chevy frame. That's the Canadian Pontiacs for you. But 79 F100 and 80 F100. Oh yeah, see, like, 78, 79 Fords are the best. Like, here's the thing. Name a better looking truck that is a non special edition truck of the 70s. And you really can't. The 78, 79 Ford F100, F150, F250, perfection. Perfection in a truck. 100%. Like, I would like go for one of those in a heartbeat. And if you guys are wondering why Ford guy is spamming, he's not intentionally doing that. He's having like internet issues, so it's sometimes inputting it 3 times before it actually is like sending properly. Hey, what's going on, Jordan? Nice to see you. Know anything about the Holden Commodore? Which generation of Commodore are we talking here? Because admittedly, they made the Commodore for a long time. I'm going to, but I don't want any motherfucking part of you. I've been waiting for this moment for way too long. Don't know where I'm going. Like, cause the Commodore, like, it's kind of cool. And actually, like, we had our own version of the Commodore over here. If you want to get technical, because the Pontiac G8 was a Commodore. Just okay, VR Commodore. Let's look at the VR. Okay, so that is the 90s one / early 2000. Yeah, I think that's 90s for the VR. Let's see, what year was that? 93 to 95. Okay. I mean, I don't know really anything on those ones, to be fair. What motors did they use? Okay, you could get the 5-liter, you could get the 3.8 or 2.6. Okay, I got you. And they could use a T5 or the 4L60. All right, cool. Like I said, I don't know much on them, but freaking cool. And yours has a Buick 3.8? Nice. Honestly, one of the best motors ever made is a Buick 3.8. They go forever. You don't have to worry about anything. You can beat the ever-living hell out of them, and they'll take it all day long. It is fantastic. Fair enough. I mean, those trucks are pretty, though. I do like those late 90s Chevy trucks, actually. Nice and comfy. You got a LS under the hood. Vibing pretty good with that. How am I doing? I am doing absolutely fantabulous. How are you doing there, Jordan? Ford guy loves his 81 F250, but he's a sucker for bullnose. It was my first style truck I had since high school, and I've always had one just a different style. Well, actually, hang on. Your 81 isn't that a bullnose? Because the bullnose existed to like what 86, I think, like 80 to 86. I thought the F250 was different, but I don't remember the F250 being different. Excellent. I am glad to hear that, Jordan. Oh, yours is a 4.3. Okay. Sad. Yeah, not quite as good as what the LSs were. Not bad though, but not amazing, admittedly. Yeah, 86. That's what I thought. Because when you mentioned that, but you're impartial to like the bullnose, I'm like, but your truck is a bullnose, so I was confuzzled. But it's all good. You may have just I may have just misunderstood what you were saying, so no big deal. No biggie. Like for me, yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. Sorry, my brain is not working extremely well, but I'm trying here. I'm trying. Yeah, because the only thing that was different was like frame and suspension on those, comparatively to the F100 or F150, compared to an F250. Yeah, 89, 81. Ah, got you. Got you. can let me know. Yeah, I got Alanis Morissette playing. Lovely. Oh, yeah, and that's 350 crew cab? Cool. Gonna say, you don't see very many of those crew cabs. Almost ever with those trucks. Very rare. The 89 would be AFI, yeah. So the entirety of Ford's lineup got EFI in 1986. Some were able to have EFI as early as 83, but by 86, like I said, everything was EFI. Because they would have had the multi-point fuel injection on those that was the same as the Mustang in that year. Although different, because like different intake and stuff, but same, essentially the same system. He has a story to tell. Listen closely, you can hear mine as well. What's addicted, breaking my heart. Driving up, stealing us, torn apart. So conflicting in the feeling, the pain. I say I've had enough, but still want it all again. I won't deny. I tried to hide it, but it was killing me inside. You're vibing here, right? And you missed your crew cab? And it's 31 high open. Oh, nice. Nice. Yeah, that would have been fun, definitely. And unique, too. Oh, yeah. That would have been absolutely dreadful. Because that would have been 1980 F100 31 4-speed. That 4-speed would have been a T18, I believe. 4-speed. And no overdrive in that. You know, what was that? That was an email. Okay. I mean, sorry. Flash Shark. Okay, that's weird. Can I go home? Okay, I'll have to look at that a little later. Because I'm waiting for a package from Flash Shark and Racing, and they haven't put a commercial invoice 2 times in a row. That's kind of frustrating, actually. Because that was supposed to be here over a week ago. Actually, like 2 weeks ago. But not anymore. United 300 is much better EFI. Well, yeah. That would get better fuel economy than the 351 by far. And being 93, that would have a 5-speed in it, too. If it happens to be a manual. Old DOT truck. Fair enough. Leave it alone. Bury it, leave it alone. Bury the dad, bury it alone. Bury it alone. Bury the dad, bury it alone. Bury it alone. Bury the dad. Yeah, M50D. Okay. Yeah, so that's like the same as what my dad's truck was then. I thought the 460 started fuel injection in the same year. I could be wrong, but let me look. When did the 460 get fuel injection? Hey, you were right. It got fuel injection in 1988. So that was the only vehicle that did not get injection by 86 then. So fair enough. I didn't know that. Cool. Learn something new today. There you go. I might forget that, but might remember. Hard to say. But like, and it's very interesting though when I talk to Fox body people, and they all will try and claim that fuel injection was not in the Fox body Mustang or Capri until 1986. But no, that was only in the manuals that was like that. Automatics, you could have the fuel injection as early as 84. And that was the CFI injection. Terrible, terrible injection system. But, you know. And 81, 86 was 302? 31 was 87. Oh, okay. Huh. I thought it was all the engines in by 86 got it. Interesting. Well, fair enough. Learn something new every day. But what's interesting, though, is that they actually offered two different fuel injection systems in 1986. So, in 1986, the 5-liter got, and all the 5 liters had this, the multi-point fuel injection. But did you know, if you got a 3.8 V6, that had the CFI system. It never got the multi-point fuel injection until it was put into the Thunderbird, actually. And yeah, the 460 was only in like 3/4 ton and 1 tons. Yeah. You have an 84 CFI Mustang. See, I've never actually seen a CFI Mustang. I owned a CFI Capri. So that's why it's kind of interesting, actually, to me. When I hear about that, because it's pretty neat. Bada bing, bada boom. Bing, bada bing, bada boom. Yeah, CFI stands for Central Fuel Injection, which is a little throttle body injection unit that was not very good. It had 2 injectors on top, just like a TBI system. And it worked terribly. The reason why I say that is because I had an 86 Mustang 3.8 V6 with that. Had less than 200,000 kilometers on it, and it. Well, that's what actually killed the original motor in that car. You know, it started to overfuel like crazy, and I think it was the fuel pressure regulator that failed, and then eventually that just finally seized. So, what am I listening to right now? Actually, I want to change that song. I'm listening to "Cold, Cold, Cold" by Cage the Elephant. Also, how's it going there, Genuine Pup? Now, and here's the question though, Ronald. Do you still have the CFI on your Mustang, or has it been converted? It's really hard to get a proper beat to this. I think it's that. Hey, I am. Thank you very, very much there, Genuine Pup. Always nice to see you in my chat. Mine. Help me. This will feel right. Oh, big stretch for the fat cats. Eh? For the kitten. It's still the original CFI. That's cool. It is nice to see that, you know, to still see that CFI. Like, it's not the best, but it's pretty neat to see it, though. Oh, and some 85 F-150 were 302, were EFI, but not common. Oh, okay, interesting. Like, I know that, like, the Mustangs and Capris got it as early as 84, the Lincolns had it in 83, and that the F-150 could get it in 85? Didn't know that. Interesting. Cool to know. Yeah, that would have the spider injection, actually. So, a buddy of mine named Patrick, he lives out near Carmagay, actually. And he has a little GMC S15 from the 80s, you know, square body sort of mini truck, just like the S10. But just being a GMC. It's a 82, I believe. And at one point he had a 4.3 in it with the spider ejection, and he said like it was the worst thing ever, just absolutely terrible. And he eventually yeeted that motor, and I think he finally put a small block Chevy in that thing, but have I ever driven a Bricklin? No. I would love to drive a Bricklin, though. That'd be fun, actually. Like, and reviewing a Bricklin would be fun, because I know a little bit of the history of Bricklin, too, so that'd be a fun one, actually. You know, Canadian or Canada's sports car. Not a very good one. But cool. Ronald did a lot of work to get it running properly. It was your mother's car. She bought it new. Still under 40,000 miles. Wow. That's incredible, dude. Like, that's kind of awesome to actually see that. And, you know, like, the fact that it has that low of mileage, too, is pretty incredible. That car just must be quite the cream puff, then, being that low of mileage, I would assume. You know? But, and I'd love to have something like that, but I'm never going to have anything really from my family that I'm aware of that'll be like something that was passed down to me. You're in touch with cars? Fair enough. I mean, I have a lot of truck people in here. I have a lot of car people. I have some bike people that join in on here too, even though, like, I know hardly a thing about bikes. So, oh, it's a G350 anniversary edition. Cool. Yeah, huh? An ejection GT350. That's gotta be extremely rare to find the injection on the anniversary. I wonder how many of them were made like that, actually. That'd be an interesting thing for a money report. So they don't dribble each other. Hey, fair enough. I mean, that's one of these things. I don't know much on the spider injection systems, honestly. I don't really pay as close of attention to the GM, like as opposed to some of my friends who almost exclusively deal with GMs. So yeah, okay, so it is the auto, which yeah makes sense because a T5 wouldn't have that. Um, yeah, it's cool, really cool actually. So it would actually move half decent. Not super fast. I mean, that would have the E5 heads on it. Decent flow and everything. They made about 160, 170 horsepower, something like that. Not too bad in that year. You know, 86 was the worst year for the heads because they had these E6 heads 1 year only for the Mustang and Capri. They did end up using that E6 design for the head up until I think 1990 and like the T-Bird and stuff. Very weird decision, but by Ford. Like, and the non-high output cars, like, they got the E6 heads afterwards. The high output cars had the E7 heads, which actually are not too terrible for flow out of the box. But then also, like, the E6 head cars, I know this from the one I had. The pistons are flat top without valve reliefs in the pistons, so you have to really be careful when you put a aftermarket cam on one of those, because you can easily have piston meet valve. So, yeah. And some people like will call the E6 head like a turbo swirl head because it kind of has like that design that way, but it didn't work out that well, unfortunately. Goodbye, gone one. Let's start riot. Start riot. Yeah, this would not be appropriate to play on YouTube. That's this way for this song, because this is "Riot" by Hollywood Undead. Hey, I mean, who doesn't love those old trucks, right? They're awesome. Like, I'd love to have an old like Ford, Dodge, or Chevy truck, but I don't know, maybe someday. And yeah, the E6 heads are like the 86 heads are terrible, and which yeah, because they have the designation E6, you know, and which actually a lot of the Ford heads have E designation. So like early 80s was E5, E6 was 86, E7 was 87 and up. One. I've been drinking way too up until I got gun. Been drinking way too much, but now I think I'm done. Start a riot. Start a riot. Well, see, the Little Red Express is really cool, and what's interesting about the Little Red Express, actually, is that they had two generations of the Little Red Express. Most people don't realize this. But, 78, 79, of course, Little Red Express existed then with a 360, cop engine, essentially. Producing, I think it was like 250, 260 horsepower, and it really kicked ass, actually, at the time, because everything was so bogged down with power and stuff. But it wasn't, because it got around like emissions and stuff like that in 78, and they just, because of the weight, because it weighed over 6,000 pounds, so pretty cool. But then I can't remember the exact years. I want to say it was 1991. No, it would have been 92. 1992 to 94, I believe. The Little Red Express, they brought it back, but in the Dakota. And the one you want is the 92. The 92 Dakota is actually, fun fact, are one of the best sleepers ever. Because, fun fact, in 1982, Dodge found a surplus of factory 318 high output heads from 1970. So they put those on those cars, and they instantly gained a bunch of power because they're a lot higher compression, and they're much better flowing heads than what the Magnum heads were. Just an absolute riot of a car that way. Oh yeah, early 80s Ford EXP. The Ford EXP in general was a very interesting car. Like the first generation EXP, it had a major flaw with it. It had nothing to do with the way it looked or anything like that, because a lot of people didn't like the look of those. Which actually the Mercury LN7 is the same as an EXP. They're pretty cool. Well, the problem that they had was an Escort GT was faster than the EXP, even though the EXP cost is like an extra $1,500 or $2,000 more in the MSRP. And the reason why, it used the exact same drivetrain as the Escort GT, but they didn't do anything to it. Yet the EXP weighed like an extra 150 pounds because of the attached design. So, as a result, it was actually slower. You have an 89 GT as well? Oh yeah, that'd have a lot more. Because then also, because your GT350, if it was equipped with it, it would have an 8.8. That your 89 GT is guaranteed to have an 8.8, and it probably has a better gear ratio as well. Like, that 84, if it had an 8.8, it's probably either a 273 or a 327, where that 89 likely has 355s or 373s as well. So, there's that. In the crowd, I just want a bigger well. Oh yeah, it was a lot harder to get information back then. Like, trust me, like, I grew up during the infancy of the internet, because I was, I'm only 28, right? So, with that in mind, I remember, like, having dial-up internet and stuff. Oh, okay, 308's an 89. Okay. So it wasn't optioned out with the better rear end then. Interesting. Like, I mean, it has the 8.8, but yeah. Interesting. But, like, researching that stuff, because prior to that, when I was a kid, what I'd be doing, like, before we really had internet at home properly and researching stuff on the internet, I'd go out to, like, different car shows, and I'd actually talk to the owners about their cars and get the information that way. So that's why, like, some of the stuff that I put out might be incorrect information at times because of what I was told from them, 20 some odd years ago. So, and they were just mistaken when they had their information as well, Oh yeah, like, here's the thing. I love to help people with their manuals and everything because, like, it's a dying breed, and I want to help out people as much as possible. Like, it was kind of nice, actually, like, a couple of nights ago, I was doing a live on TikTok, and somebody asked me if I knew how to drive stick, and I said, yeah, I do, actually. I love driving the stick. I swap my daily driver to a stick shift. And they're just like, oh, great. So do you have any tips for somebody that drives, like, that hasn't driven stick before? And all I did was told them, go look at my YouTube channel. I have a video on my YouTube channel all about driving stick shift. And you can see, my, like, everything with what I'm doing while I'm driving. It was a perfect sort of storm that way. And that video has actually helped quite a few people learn how to drive stick, which makes me happy, Ah, okay, so I'd have the M50D with the 300 then. Coolio. But that's alright, because I love the way you lie. I love the way you lie. And your 93 has a 355. Ooh. Yeah, that's the perfect axle ratio, in my opinion. Like, perfect axle ratio. Because, like, Stitch has 355s. And it's right smack dab in the middle of, like, hey, good acceleration, but still getting decent fuel economy on the highway. It's a win-win all the way around. You go higher than that with 373s, and your RPMs are getting, like, a couple of hundred higher, which means that depending on your overdrive ratio, you might be at 3,000 RPM on the highway. Which, and Stitch with small tires on her, she runs, 110 kilometers an hour at about 2,900 RPM. So she kind of screams on the highway. There we go. Hear me cry, but that's alright, because I love the way you lie. I love the way you lie. And you have 308s with a 5-speed. So, I mean, that'd just be like ultimate fuel economy, 308s that way with a 5-speed. And do you mean when you fall back into the same patterns, 17? Yeah, I can't. I don't know why I'm trying to rap. I can't rap at all. But yours is around 2,000 RPM at 70-ish. Oh, really? I mean, I'm assuming your truck has like really tall tires on the back of it, though, so that would make sense. But because mine doesn't. Like right now, I've got like 25-inch tall tires. When I'm running the 28s, like it drops down to it's like 2,200 RPM or so. Yeah, 95 hour in overdrive, barely at 1,800 RPM. Damn. No, that's pretty awesome, honestly. Now, here's the question, though. Do you deserve a shout-out? Like, do ya? I'm just playing. Thank you for tuning into the live there, Bijou. Appreciate you. And, yeah. Hopefully you're having a good night and vibing and stuff like that, like I am. Oh, good song. Good song. I need more volume with this. Restless tonight, 'cause I wasted the light. Between all these times, I drew a thin line. It's nothing I planned, but not that I can. But you should be mine across that line. If I traded it all, if I gave it all away for one thing, just for one thing. If I started it all, if I knew all about just one thing. Hey, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Sorry, I'm just vibing to Figure 11. I can't help it. When I hear this song, I just have to belt it out. Well, thank you, Robert. Appreciate the compliment. Even though I know I don't wanna know. Yeah, I guess I know. I just hate how it sounds. Traded it all. If I gave it all away for one thing. Just for one thing. If I started it out. If I knew all about just one thing. Wouldn't that be something? Went to Red Deer and back to Drum, barely used 40 liters. 11 liters per 100 kilometers. Not bad. Not bad at all. That's pretty good, actually. And people think that those can't get the good fuel economy that way, but if you drive it right, they can. Wow, just one thing. Wouldn't that be something? Even though I know I don't wanna know. Yeah, I guess I know. I just hate how it sounds. Even though I know. Really? Especially in winter. Interesting. Because usually, Oh, you'll get better mileage in summer. Yeah, of course. That makes sense. Because in the wintertime, the winter blend of fuel actually typically gives you worse fuel economy. Not by a ton, but a little bit. If I sorted it out, if I knew all about just one thing, wouldn't that be something? If I stated it all, if I gave it all away for one thing, just for one thing, if I started it all, if I knew all about just one thing, wouldn't that be something? If I traded it all, if I gave it all away for one thing, just for one thing, if I started it all, if I knew all about just one thing, wouldn't that be something? If I traded it all, if I gave it all away for one thing, just for one thing. Oh, good. Like, yeah, that canopy, just the extra weight and aerodynamic loss. Yeah, you could get closer to 10 liters for sure. What kind of music do I like? Heavy metal, rock music. I like some pop. Currently listening to, as an example, like Linkin Park. Shout out today. I just listened to One Thing by Come on, I know the band. Figure 11. There we go. So like I listen to a lot of different stuff. On the window. Well, I mean that's not overly surprising though, Kelly. 308 gears compared to 355 gears. The extra weight of having that extra axle on your truck, um, and the extra weight of the drive shaft, and obviously the. If my brain will work. Come on. Why? It's not torque splitter. My God. Transfer case. There we go. Couldn't think of the name of it. And also, it being a 4x4, it's going to get worse aerodynamics because they do have extra ride height to them. So there's that. Shadow of the day will embrace the world in gray, and the sun will set for you. Well, see, and also, like, and I've mentioned this in the past too, and most people don't realize this, but varying from engine to engine, there seems to be no rhyme or reason for this, especially in the injected years of the 306. That, and I think it has to do with the engines, how they were made. I think some have better cam timing than others, but some F-150s with the, or F-250 or whatever, with the 300s with the injection, they could actually be very efficient on fuel, but not very quick. Well, other ones, they'd roast the tires and whatever else, but not get quite as good a fuel economy. With both trucks can have the same specs, same axle ratios, same everything about them. And yet one will get like an extra 2 miles per gallon better than the other one. But the other one will be like a hot rod. It's the weirdest thing. Lifted has a leaky exhaust? Fair. Yeah. Exactly. That makes sense. I know, you got a aluminum drive shaft in that thing? Nice. I mean, I want to, Oh yeah, Pat's Driveline build you a new one. Nice, actually, yeah. I want to say it was Pat's Driveline up in Edmonton to modify my drive shaft to fit my car. Hey, here's the thing, Brent. You don't necessarily have to own an exciting car that way. As long as you like the vehicle that you have and that it's reliable for you and all that different stuff, you're golden, man. Like a 2010 Camry, that's a thing that'll last forever. You know? Like, and back when Toyotas were actually really good quality. Ah, and factory aluminum drive shaft. Interesting. So, I mean, that's even less weight, and obviously it can give you more power to the tires, which results in less throttle input needed. Um, like something that I want to do, I gotta contact my buddy Patrick and see. Like, I need to talk to him one of these days and ask, hey, what's up? And do you still have that contact for the person that makes carbon fiber drive shafts? And then, if so, I mean, I would take the drive shaft off a stitch, get it down there, and ask them, hey, can you get me a drive shaft that is the same specs as this, but carbon fiber for my car? Because I'd do that in a heartbeat. It'd be so much lighter, it'd be stronger, win-win. And also, if it happens to somehow break under the power of my car, I don't know how, but if it does, well, it's not gonna, like, flop around near as much, because what will happen is it'll actually, like, shear in half, basically. And carbon fiber drive shafts are much safer than your typical aluminum or steel drive shafts that way. Yeah, I mean, realistically, your truck, it gets 11 now. If you did all that, you'd drop down to about like 9.5, which is the territory that Stitch runs, which is scary that a truck can get as good a fuel economy as what Stitch does. But it's a thing. And Kelly's had an eye out for an older Tacoma. They're hard to find. Oh yeah, they definitely can be. I mean, I've seen a couple of them, but like, what year range are you looking for? Actually, because I do see them every once in a blue moon, but and there is a limitation on how fast you can spin drive shafts. This is true, but like, I'm never going to exceed that with my little straight six. You know, even if I someday put stronger valve springs in that car, or whatever else, that car is still not going to push. You know, like that drive shaft's not going to spin super fast. Um, like put it this way, my engine only does like 4,200 RPM basically right now, very low RPM, so should be good. Oh yeah, the Tacomas did have frame rust issues, but oddly enough, that was recalled. They recalled all of them to get new frames. So there's that. Gets strong 10 kilometers per liter. It varies between 4.7 and 8. Early to mid 90s. Ah, okay, cool. Coolio. Yeah, that would be those can be difficult to find. Like usually when I find a Tacoma, it's like early 2000s. I don't know. Let's look on the marketplace because you're somewhat local to me in the grand scheme of things. Um, Toyota Tacoma. Let's see. There's a 2000. Oh, hey, I found a 98, but that's Auto Trader. Where is that though? Because typically with Auto Trader, they don't show me. Yeah, that's okay. I hate Auto Trader. That's Toronto. Like, screw off. Let's see. 2003. That's a Tundra from 2000. Just see what I can find just for shits and giggles. Ah, hey, I found a 95 Taco. listed 4 days ago. 4x4, 3.4. They want $7,500 for it though. 30K on it. And oh, it's a stick too. Nice. It's a spec you'd want. Yeah, like I just found this one in your neck of the woods. Now they're asking a decent chunk of change for this one, but yeah, it's 330,000 kilometers on it. Steering wheel actually doesn't look to be too bad. But yeah, like what's cool though, this is a spec you want. 4x4 stick shift. But they're asking $7,500 for this one, so. Here's the thing. If you want the best fuel economy out of your 306, this is what I would do to it. Go get a header for it, like a long tube, whatever header that you can find for it. I think they only sell long tube headers for those. Long tube header, delete the cats, delete the smog pump, run it with a good free-flowing exhaust, and you'll actually get quite a bit of you'll get quite a bit better results doing that. Like genuinely. Oh, you were asking me where that was Marketplace. Facebook Marketplace. Like Facebook Marketplace is such a great tool. You know, I find really cool shit all the time on here. For good deals. I mean, like, let's see. The Polter Merc was a Marketplace find. And let's see, and this guy has a Chevy Blazer 2002 with 200,000 miles. It's still kicking some out. Hey, nice. I mean, those little S10 Blazers were fantastic vehicles overall. You know? And if they're maintained well, they'll usually go for a long period of time. Now, I find it funny that this guy said, buy a Ram or a Bugatti. Big difference between a Ram and a Bugatti. I'm much easier for me to find a Ram in my price range than a Bugatti. The white pipers rusted out. Well, that's one of these things. And actually, oh wait, no, that's right. You don't have to put a dual exhaust header on that. I totally forgot. They have, from the factory, a dual exhaust outlet. I totally forgot about that. So in reality, if you actually did like I said, cut out the cats, get rid of the smog pump, get rid of any of the other vacuum-based emissions that it might have, do a free-flowing, exhaust out the back. That way, that's not rusted out. That's actually, goes all the way out the back of the mufflers and everything. You'd probably, you'd gain a decent amount of power, plus it'd sound fantastic, and, yeah, it'd be worth it. You seeing a muffler shot? Fair enough. Hey, there you go. Not too bad. Oh yeah, here's the V10 second gen Rams. No, it's not the same as the Viper. They initially started with that design, but then they realized, Lamborghini took that design and went, nah, we don't really like this that much. So they basically changed everything about it. But I would still love to build one of those V10 Magnum blocks, though. That'd be cool. I messed up the input from the O2 sensor. It runs a bit rich. been to a couple of shops, they don't want to tackle it. Oh, um, are you willing to travel to get your exhaust done? Also, hi, Tom Sawyer. How are you doing, Ned? Or Thomas Sawyer, I should say. Great name. Great name. Yeah, I totally forgot the 300s actually had that dual exhaust manifold. Admittedly, like, if my dad kept that truck that he had, he would have actually, done that. Like I said, are you willing to travel a little bit? It's only up to Edmonton, so it's not too far. Actually, technically Leduc, if you want to get really technical. Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, I know like a few of you would actually travel to see me, which is awesome, honestly. I love that. But, like, with Kelly, because if they're willing to travel to get their exhaust done, not me. If you go to Tim's Muffler in Leduc, now they don't go off of an appointment. You just get in there when they open and you drop your vehicle off and then pick it up later. Or they have a key drop off that you can drop your vehicle off. And they do impeccable work. They do all of my exhaust work. I absolutely love the work that they do. And case in point, they got Stitch to sound like what she does, right? Tell them we're not like this. Can we let me say another time when a world so bright, a world was born, and what we see online, we actually lived instead of watching life. And another time, and another time. Another time, a world so bright, and a world was born, and what we see online, we actually lived instead of watching life. Another time. Well, yeah, I mean, you could do it that way to delete the smog bump. You can leave the smog pump there, technically just run a shorter belt. Yeah, you could. Like, although, in the grand scheme of things, like, it's not the most difficult thing in the world, though, to make your own block-off plate for the smog bump, though. Oh, yeah, no, and they're fantastic. So put it this way. So, their pricing also is fantastic. If you tell them prior as well that you don't want to, like, that you're going to pay cash, they won't charge you the GST either. So it'll save you a few bucks doing that. But, so the entire exhaust on Stitch, which is a custom Y pipe, and the pipe's going down now, supplied mufflers, supplied, tips. $390 for the entire exhaust. Like, that's not bad, honestly. Shut up and kiss me. Whoa. Shut up and kiss me. Shut up and kiss me. Nervous laugh, a stupid smile. We could be here for a while. I don't mind, I won't pretend. So let's do it again. Oh, is that? No, don't die. Aw, I think my headset might be dying. Actually, I got an idea. Shut up and kiss me. Hey, Rascal, it's okay, buddy. It's okay, Bugaboo. You're fine. I just need this cable. You don't have to leave. No, don't leave. Don't leave. Don't leave. Don't leave. It's okay. See? See, you're so comfy. You're good. You're good. No! I lost my kitty. All right. Well, here's the thing. Oh. Okay. So, fun fact. I guess when you're charging these, they cannot. You cannot actually use it. Can you guys still hear me? All right. Because I hope you can. I think it changed over to the mic on this. Yes, it did. All right. Yeah. Sorry. Hopefully that little bit doesn't get me demonetized. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. But yeah. So that's the thing of like that shop. So that's $390. That actually wasn't me. My buddy gave me a birthday present of a new exhaust on Stitch at that point. And he's the one that actually it was charged that way. Oh, no, I don't strip my hair down. Nope. This is just semi-permanent dye, and then what I do is to actually like clean my hair, I just use a dry shampoo, and that's how it's staying. If I was to do this and not have the dry shampoo, this would all be gone already. And I dyed this on Christmas Eve, so. But yeah, hey Rascal, what are you doing, bud? I really need to clean up here a little bit. To be honest, a little bit of a mess, a little bit. Wouldn't take me long though, but yeah. So really, not that bad. And the thing is, when it comes to that shop, like I love using them. They do all of my exhaust work. Hey, Rascal. Hey, Rascal. Look, if you're gonna do that, here. Hey, buddy. There you go. He's in his box, or he's in his bag now. But yeah, like, and I haven't actually dyed my hair in a little while. Like, I had it dyed for a little bit in the summertime, and then I learned my lesson of I need to use like dry shampoo so that the dye doesn't come out. But and because my hair color changes a little bit, it gets a little bit darker throughout the winter when it's actually pretty bright in the summertime. I don't know if you guys ever noticed that, but this was supposed to be pink, and it's kind of pink, but it's more like a reddish purple because of my natural hair color, which you can actually see some of it like coming through. Case in point, you know, it's already starting to fade a little bit back here. But I think I didn't really get the dye job that good, but it looks all right, you know. Hey, no worries. I get that. I mean, it's 3 a.m. as well here. I mean, well, duh, we live in the same province. I appreciate you coming out, dude. Take care. And to be honest, like, this live won't last too much longer, I don't think, but we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, anyways, take care, y'all. And I'll catch y'all, or you, later. And this guy, ooh, you own a 64 Impala lowrider. Nice. So what's all done to that? And is it actually like a proper lowrider with hydros and stuff, or is it you know, like lower factory suspension? It does have hydros. Cool. Are you still running, like, it would have had, like, a 283 or 327, I think? Or does that have, like, something like LSE or something like that on the head? From the Power Glide to the Turbo 350? I mean, valid. I get that. Although the Power Glide's actually, interestingly, though, is if you just did a pure highway run, the Power Glide's gear ratio made it so that that thing would just purr at really low RPMs. Go down the road. Oh. Well, that was a fail, sir. Silly kitten. Hey! How's it going? There's a newcomer. That song's still stuck in my head. Yeah, he was playing with the bag for a little bit. Now he's eating some foods, so. Which before I go to bed, I'm gonna do the same. Like, I'll eat some foods a little bit because I'm a little hungry. Admittedly, I didn't really have proper dinner. Like, I just grabbed a bag of chips and I've been snacking on that all day, and now it's 3 a.m. and I haven't really eaten any proper food. So, sometimes that's how it be. Sometimes. But also, hi Robert, how's it going? And now somebody said what the fuck in the chat. What's your what the fuck moment? Huh? What's going on? Something I should be aware of, even though I can see the entire chat and nothing bad has happened in the chat. But yeah, yeah, I just see, this is very difficult for me to like do this without my music. Very difficult for me. Because when I have the music going, it's much easier. But if I do that, I get demonetized. So I'm not going to do that. For New Year's hijinks? Hey, sounds good there, Kelly. I think I'll just call the live here, to be honest, because there's not like a ton of activity anyways. So, almost about 2 hours here. Appreciate you all tuning into the live. Take care, have a fantastic night, and I'll catch you soon. Peace out.